Hope everybody's doing well. Today is Wednesday, March 18th, 2020. The Dow is plunging. It continues to plunge. It's dropped 1,300 points since the open, which was not that long ago. And I want to make a few things very plain. First of all, the federal government cannot prevent a credit freeze without passing trillions of dollars in stimulus packages, helicopter cash to Americans, and a complete bailout of the entire private sector. I want people to let that sink in, but there's something more important, and that is we are in a global war, a global economic war with China. It's a covert war, and this is happening right before our eyes. Anybody with half a brain can see what's happening right now. This all started with the oil price war. That's why the price of oil is plunging right now. It all has to do with economic warfare between the United States and China. China's goal is to destabilize Western markets and destroy the dollar as the world reserve currency. Central banks and governments have known that this moment is going to be... They've known this moment was coming for a very long time, and they've been positioning themselves. Central banks in China and Russia have been stockpiling gold for years. And it's not going to look pretty. The Fed is conducting trillion-dollar repo operations every single day, and the federal government just announced a $1.2 trillion stimulus package. Mark my words, this is not going to be the only stimulus package. Everybody out there now, still, the middle class for the most part, is still convinced that the Federal Reserve is going to step in and is going to be able to save the day. Listen, the Federal Reserve cannot reinflate this stock market bubble without completely hyperinflating away the purchasing power of the dollar. Okay? They cannot patch this one up. The bubble has popped. And it doesn't matter what pricked the bubble. It doesn't matter if it was the coronavirus. If it wasn't the coronavirus, it would have been something else. Okay? The coronavirus is a bioweapon meant to shut down markets. It is meant to halt trade. Now, I've been somewhat critical of the president in the past few days or weeks. He is not being honest with the public about what's going on. To be fair, the president's job and the job of the Federal Reserve right now is to keep markets confident. Okay? Trump doesn't have any choice but to lie right now. And I want to say, on my part, I fully support the president. Do I think he's a perfect man? No. Do I think his intentions are good? In this instance, I do believe that he is a patriot. He is steering the ship of state right now, and he needs the support of the American people. We are fighting a debt war. This is a global war, and it's being fought with debt. The fair market value for the Dow is between $5,000 and $10,000, or five to 10,000 points. That's the fair market value for the Dow. Let that sink in. For everybody who thinks that the Federal Reserve is going to be able to step in and save everyone, that prices are low right now in the stock market, we haven't even begun to see the carnage. There are restaurants and other areas of the service sector in the American economy, and I'm sure in Europe as well, that are temporarily closing down. You're going to see a lot of this. These stimulus packages, as stores, retail stores across the country temporarily shut down, Americans will be provided with relief for having to stay home from work. We have entered a depression. Some people will be returning to work. Some people will not be returning to work. We are in a depression, and the government has not admitted it yet. But everybody who's about to temporarily be going home from work, again, some of them will be going back to work in a relatively short period of time, and some of them will not. This is an economic depression. The first shots that were fired in this global debt war were fought over the oil price war that's going on right now. Crude has cratered. It's at historic lows right now. That is what is going on. We are still at the beginning stages of this. I've known about this for about 5 years. Others have known about this for much longer. And there's still a little bit of time to position yourself correctly. And the way to do that is with debt-resistant instruments. Gold, silver, Bitcoin. I'm a big proponent of Bitcoin. While I believe that the United States and the Western world is going to win this debt war with China, the middle class is going to lose. The government is going to continue to give out checks to Americans, temporary unemployment benefits, which will be extended for as long as this depression lasts. We need to. I'm not asking that everybody like the president. I understand. I don't have a problem with his personality. I understand why people don't like his personality, okay? He is steering the ship of state. He is our American president. And there's been 3 years of nonsense from the media constantly attacking him. He is steering the ship of state right now. We are fighting a covert global debt war between us and China. Iran is also involved. It's primarily being fought between the United States and China, but it involves the entire Western world. And frankly, this is a global debt war. It's already affecting the entire world market. And as different companies get bailed out, I imagine Boeing will be getting bailed out very soon. It is providing incentive to other major corporations to temporarily close down because they know they're going to be bailed out by the federal government. 2008, it was just the banks that got bailed out. Banks are going to have to be bailed out again. But let me make this clear. This is a bailout of the entire private sector. Everybody stay safe out there. Protect yourself however you see fit. We haven't seen anything yet.